Examples abound in the history of the United States where individuals or groups of individuals or structures attempted at different junctures or tried to do what they thought right for, again, Martin Luther King, the manner of man they had in mind. Coming back to the idea of education, what is the purpose? Among the victims of injustice and violence, we can mention many attempts at educating people. For example, Frederick Douglass, who trained himself to help free his brethren. We all know that he was an illiterate, a slave who did not go to school and had no chance to learn formally or informally, and he decided, knowing that without knowledge you could not do anything, to get himself out of the dark. And that's what he did. Booker T. Washington, who built his school at Tuskegee, Alabama, to uplift his people. And Tuskegee Institute, which has become Tuskegee University, where I have the honor of teaching for a whole year in 1987, is one of the most famous schools in the history of the United States, with the famous pilots who played an important role during World War II. Everybody knows about Chappie James, and he is a product of the endeavor of Booker T. Washington in Tuskegee, Alabama. We know of William Edward Booker Du Bois, who played his role and cannot be wiped out, even though for some political reasons many people did not agree with his understanding of history and the role he played. He decided at some stage to leave the United States and go and live in Ghana to pay tribute to Kwame Nkrumah and the first independent state in West Africa, where he died many years later. The education at schools, at universities, at churches, on public places and the streets, on roadsides, or even on private homes, they all played their different partitions at some juncture of history when they were needed. But in another context, with relatively different circumstances and conditions, we still have the same eagerness to build, the eagerness to sustain and to nurture a better manner of man. In our Holy Quran, Luqman the Wise tells his son how to better a man here and hereafter. We're talking within the framework of religion, so education is no longer limited to basic needs for here and now. Education is related to now and later. It is related to this world and the world to come, because it will mold the man and make of him a certain agent of thing that will determine what will become of him tomorrow in another world. And that is important. Luqman shows the young man the road to success, the importance of courage, of truthfulness, of humility and endurance, but most importantly, of knowledge. You can have endurance, you can be strong, you can be courageous, you can be rich, you can be powerful. If you are not educated, there is something amiss. Because it is education that allows you, that permits you to appreciate and use for better results, wealth and power and courage and all the things I have already quoted. And he said, I'll quote the Quran, Luqman 31, verse 20, among men is he who disputes in respect of Allah, though having no knowledge, no guidance, no a book giving light. This man will be presented in the Quran as an ignorant man, a dangerous man. This pinpoints in our Islam the primeval nature of learning, of education as a prerequisite to a complete dimension of man. Again, Luqman's father compared the rambunctious and unclean person, unlearned person, to the donkey.